Stay a moment. All my walls are falling, and my heart is beating loud until I hit the ground. Will you stay around until I hit the ground? Will you stay around? Find me in the clouds until I hit the ground. Until I hit the ground. When you're leaving, can't escape the feeling. You got me spiraling down. If you hold me, maybe we can go all in, baby. I'll be yours and you'll be mine. Get me high until I hit the ground. Will you stay around? Find me in the clouds until I hit the ground. Until I hit the ground.
Conmigo no juegues, no soy un juguete que usa cuando quiere. A eso no le doy, 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 no Todo pendiente de mí en el party. Me miran bailando y se le pone nari. Con mi movimiento de safari. Todo pendiente de mí en el party. Y tú sabes, no pierdas el tiempo. Dale, vente, pégate lento. No, dale, no pierdas el tiempo. Esta noche me puse, a eso no le doy. A eso no le doy. A eso no le doy. A eso no le doy luz, 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 luz. A eso no le doy luz, 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 luz. A eso no le doy luz, 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 luz. A eso no le doy luz, 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 luz.
we're back again. Bien, gracias y tú. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. We started, and I might just call it and say no technical issues yet. So this is good. You're still, no, you need to go the other way. Yeah, you need, yeah. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Welcome, everyone, to our June edition of the RUM-Gaming Monthly Pulse. My name is Dragon Lord. And then Big Texas Goat. I also go by Dragon. We've got a really cool show for you this evening. And as we always do, we'll start off with some RUM-Gaming news. We've got some cool things in the pipeline here. Some things that I don't know if we're quite ready to show off yet, but we're definitely ready to talk about. Yeah. So pretty exciting. So why don't you get us started with the RUM-Gaming news there, Goat? Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of moving, there's a little bit of movement that might be happening at the Dragon household. Crazy Quinn might be moving into the spare bedroom and turning that into the spare bedroom / office, and then this will just become my exclusive space / office. So with that being said, my 3D printer might be up and running again soon if I can figure out the issues that it has right now. But other than that, it should be pretty cool. But yeah, let's dive into what else you've got to show us here. Yeah. Wait, hold on. For some reason, your voice is not working. What is happening? We did have technical difficulties. For some reason, Discord isn't working. He's been talking to himself. Jesus. Okay. Let's try that again. Say something here. What is going on? I have Discord selected. Why didn't it work? How about now?
Mic check. 1,
oh
2,
my
3.
god. Okay, there you go. Full restart. Okay, go take it away. My goodness.
Oh man. So if we go back to the picture,
Yeah, I have it
the
right
goat
here.
family has moved.
Yeah.
And now instead of having a shared gaming office / crafting room, RUM-Gaming and the wife's Cricket has its own room. And it's still kind of just thrown in there at the moment, but we got the 2 big plastic storage shelves on the right, the cubby system in the middle, and then the storage dresser thing that's the printing station there.
Yeah.
Just thought we'd share that now instead of just the table and part of a closet and everything, they're just kind of crammed with as far as printing and our desk went in the other office.
Yeah.
Now it's got its own dedicated room. Unfortunately, it is downstairs, so I'll definitely get my steps in every time I got to swap the printer
There
out.
you go. There you go. Hey, maybe that's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, right. Got to trim this girlish figure down for bikini season.
That's right.
Yeah, and then you already talked about your movie. I heard your
talk
part.
about my move. Yeah, everybody can hear me just fine.
And then I was saying we've been, as far as printing goes, it's not printing now, but was printing all of it till the day we moved. And we're preparing for Steampunk November by making crystal dragons. As you probably see at almost every 3D printing table. We only do about 10% of our inventories crystal dragons, but we do try and diversify from other people. We try to diversify with everything we make, try and just think of things that most people don't have.
Yeah.
And think of more practical items instead of just toys like a lot of people do. So crystal dragons is, I'd say, what would we say, maybe 30% of our inventory is toys, and the rest is more practical or decor.
Yeah, I mean, one of our biggest goals is to just prove that like you said, the diversity of 3D printing.
Yeah. So even with our crystal dragons, this year we're going primarily with a theme of contrast. Like these, doing matte black on the bottom of these dragons. I really see them just to, what do you call it, supply and demand.
Yeah.
Had to get a jet black on some other ones that I'll show you, but it's pretty close. But it just really makes it pop and makes them stand out above the crowd and make it more unique to show off.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to show off, I don't know if you have that other picture, you probably have to scroll up and find it, of all the red dragons on the table.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
But I wanted to show the difference, not the difference, how much we can make with like a roll of material. And in this case, 2 rolls, because it alternates between black and blue or black and red like we got in some of these other cases. I think I probably texted it to you, because I'm not seeing it on Discord.
Say if you texted it to me, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to pull up.
I could try and find it while we talk about it.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, I did the blue and black, red and black, and pink and black. And then, due to a fan favorite at Steampunk last year, I started doing the, what is it called? I forget what the actual
the
name is.
multicolor blue and white.
No, yeah, the blue and white. I forgot what we called it, like sky or cloud or
cloud, something like that.
But yes, they came really good with these crystal dragons. The winged dragons, I don't think were as amazing, but still really cool. So that's the current roll. I think I made 2 or 3 of those, and then I'm not quite sure what alternating color I'm going to do next time. I thought about yellow and black. I'm just not sure how popular that's going to be.
The yellow and black, I think, will be popular just on the steampunk thing. And I mean, yellow and black is a pretty popular color combination in general. I mean, you've got there's a song called Yellow, Black and Yellow. Like, you could do green and black. Green and black is always a pretty popular color.
You don't have any green.
You could do like green and purple to do like like Joker themes, and then you could do like.
Ooh, I do have. Pretty sure that was purple PLA from that dragon I made for you.
Yeah.
That I actually just realized that I had it when I was moving.
Yeah.
I probably found like 5 other rolls of filament that I wasn't aware that I even had during this move. And picture. Bam. So, as soon as we get that pulled up, we'll explain how.
There you go.
I'm missing a bag of stuff or something. No. No. Never mind. I think that's what the picture's for. So we made that many items with 1 roll of black, 1 roll of red. It's 1,000 grams per roll of material. And it produced this much waste.
Yeah.
A gallon-sized freezer bag filled to the brim with waste. And even though this looks like a lot, all this will shrink down to like 1 baseball-sized skull. So imagine my fist in here.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. It seems like a lot, but it melts down quite a lot. And so I've been saving these so that way when we do to go to make our like skulls and turtles and whatnot, they'll actually be the same kind of theme, like a black
Yeah.
and red skull, and we got our blue and black, and then we got our pink and black.
Yeah. Did you see that video I sent you about them using the heat gun and the silicone mold to melt it
Yeah.
down? I was like,
I
that's
thought
a
about
pretty
trying
good
that.
idea.
Because the toaster oven idea was kind of terrible.
Yeah, but the heat gun I thought was a pretty clever idea.
We have our pink and black.
Yeah.
And this is that jet black. So
you can barely even tell the difference, especially on
yeah,
camera.
like, even if we hold them side by
Okay,
side,
on
like,
camera they show pretty significantly a difference, but you could tell
Yeah,
you could
it's
tell
not
the
a
jet
lot.
black. You could tell the jet black is significantly
it's
darker.
Yeah, it's much darker.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still looks just as good.
Yeah, it does look just as good, of course. Honestly, I may prefer the jet black, to be honest with you.
And then if I can dig one out, there we go. There's the red and black ones that you saw in the picture there.
Yep.
That's probably my favorite, but that's my theme for a lot of things, like
Yeah.
ships and stuff in games. And then when I got down to the bottom of the roll, instead of making those little fidget toys that you saw in the picture,
Mm-hmm.
I started making little book signs for like the wife and book
Yeah,
readers.
there you go.
So we got
Yeah,
these
that'll be
and that.
popular. Definitely a lot of book stuff will sell really well, I think.
And then we got the little keychain version. So bam,
Yeah.
bam.
Yeah.
So for those that read, what's that shit called? Dark romance or
Yeah. Smart.
whatever. Well, yeah, I was trying to think of a more politically correct term or something.
Well, yeah, sure. I suppose.
Oh yeah, and then because we never really show it, we talk about the color swapping. So this is what prints off to the side of the crystal dragon, and you can't really see the color changes because it actually goes in the middle. I don't know if it'll even show the colors until
Yeah.
it catches up to me.
No.
But you can just barely see the color change in the middle there. It just builds this up the whole time. It prints a little bit here, and then goes and prints the dragon, and then changes colors, prints a little bit here, goes and prints the dragon. And you can see on this guy we had a lot of failures that I think we
Yeah.
showed off last time.
Yeah.
And turns out it's because the nozzle was bent. And who would
Yeah.
have thought that if your nozzle was bent off to the side, it wouldn't print right?
It was funny. I was browsing YouTube as I do, and I came across a video where they make diamond tip heating like hot ends, so
Yeah.
that like you literally never have to replace it ever, because it's made out of diamond crystal, and
embarrassing.
it just doesn't
She was.
erode. There she is, everybody. I got to see the mythical
Yeah.
creature that is Jandera.
They had them for like the older printers too. They're I want to say it was like red tipped or ruby tipped. I think
Yeah,
is what it was.
yeah. Ruby tip, yeah.
But they were also like $60 a
Yeah.
nozzle. And it's
These diamond tip ones, I haven't even dared look at the cost of them yet, but I could imagine them being a couple of $100 per tip. But like, if you think about it, yeah, that's a tough initial cost, but like you'll never have to buy another one.
in
Like,
theory, unless your printer fucks up and you bend it or
well, I mean, you ain't gonna bend the fucking diamond. The tip will be just fucking
Yeah.
fine. You may have to replace the hot
Well-
end around to the tip.
Well, see, that's the thing though with things like the bamboos, it's all one assembly. It's not like the old ones where you just unscrew the tip.
Well, yeah, but even for the bamboos, you can buy an assembly that's got a fucking diamond tip in it.
Yeah. So saying I'm paying $20 every time I got to change the tip out on this bamboo,
Yeah.
as opposed to like 50 cents for the brass one on the old printer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it makes up for it with efficiency or time, speed, or speed.
And efficiency.
quality.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Speed and quality. Just overall efficiency, to be honest with you. Like your printer will print circles around my Ender 3. Like,
Yeah, I mean, remember we had to reduce our giveaway time from 10 hours to 2 hours.
yeah.
Like that's how it was literally 5 times faster
Yeah.
than the old. So it's like, yeah, it takes me $20 a nozzle, but I'm printing 5 times as much with that $20 nozzle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
As long as I keep an eye on it and don't let it bend, it lasts a while.
yeah. Yeah. More things to announce. If you haven't already, please go check out our website. We have posted some new blogs on there, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Goat posted the second version of his veteran rants talking about just trauma bonding in the military, and just how that loose term is used to kind of describe the veteran to veteran relationship and the misunderstanding of civilian relationship versus veteran relationships. It's funny because I had a conversation about that with one of my close friends just recently. She she doesn't understand how people can go months and months and months without talking and still be and not be friends. Like how like regular people, like if you don't talk to them for months, like they're just not friends with you anymore. But in the military, in veterans, that's completely different. Like you can go years without talking to one of your veteran buddies, and the moment you message them, it's like y'all talked yesterday. And I think that's really unique to the veteran community, and a lot of there are always certain exceptions.
Well, yeah, and generally, in my opinion, in the civilian world, it takes years to build that kind of bond with somebody. And even then, even some of those relationships, years later, could just end in a moment.
Fall apart, yeah.
Whereas, your typical veteran relationship, will stand the test of time, because no matter what, you realize it's nothing compared to the bullshit you went through before.
Right. And then also, I posted the first edition of my fitness blog. I've been on kind of a fitness and body rebuilding journey. And so I've been blogging about that and talking about that, different topics and things and tips and tricks that I've used along the way to kind of help me motivate, because I'm sure I'm a lot like all of you where, it hurts, my body hurts all the time. And so going to the gym and the thought of making it hurt more is not enticing. But I've found that if you, just like in the Navy or in the military in general, if you just embrace the suck and go through it, at the end of it, you'll come out stronger. Pain really is weakness leaving the body. I was
about to say it. I was like, just keep in mind, it's just pain leaving the weakness leaving the body.
It really is. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know if I touched on it on this blog. I may do it on my next edition, but I've been going to the chiropractor for about a year now, just regularly. And since working out and getting like that first initial adjustment with my chiropractor about a year ago, my lower back pain, which has plagued me for years, is not an issue anymore. Like just working out and strengthening my back and getting those muscles active and working and strong again, severely helped my back pain. So it's something I encourage anybody who's thought about it to just dive in and do it. Right. And if you need advice and tips, go read my blog. Maybe it'll help. Other news, we found out recently that Humble Bundle no longer does their partner program, and we've had Humble Bundle listed as a partner on our website for quite some time now.
On Twitch.
And on Twitch. But they no longer do a partner program, but we still want to support them. They're not on our website anymore. But the update we did make is we went ahead and put Regiment on our website. We talk about them a lot in here. They've shown up on the stream. They've been supportive of us. We've always tried to be supportive of them. And so we've added some contact information and a way to reach out to them on our website. We also added a link to GovX. If you're a veteran, or if you are a first responder or any kind of government employee and you don't know about GovX, you need to get your head out from the sand. You need to step out from your rock and check it out. You can get online discounts for almost anything. So definitely a huge resource worth checking out. Obviously, we have the 3D model giveaways for qualifying veterans, and then the standard veteran resources here at the bottom. We've made some visual changes, made things look a little bit prettier. So we hope you guys appreciate that. And that's pretty much all we have for the website updates right now. Do we have anything else for RUM news? Actually, we have one more thing.
I was just going to tie into the website. If anybody knows of any resources, let us know. We're constantly trying to add more stuff to our website and make more posts on our socials, to make other people aware. So we'd love to add more. to
Yep.
what we have. We get emails every now and then, but some of them are just not in line with exactly what our goals are.
Right.
So, but no, yeah, the next thing is I don't know, I guess it'll be a big announcement when I have something to show.
Yeah.
But medium announcement is that I'm working on a RUM-Gaming board game.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's ever played House of Danger or read a Choose Your Own Adventure book,
Like Animorphs or something like that. Like, yeah.
Animorphs,
Do you don't remember Animorphs back in the day?
the TV show.
It was a TV show. There was also a book series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't know
I've got
that.
pictures of it on the stream. They've had, they were. I remember reading them in like elementary school and junior high. They're pretty cool little books. They were at least the one that I read was Choose Your Own Adventure. I don't know if all of them were, but the one that I read was. But yeah,
Trying to see if I can find something.
pretty cool little Choose Your Own Adventure books. I think he's trying to pull up the board game he was talking about right now. No.
I actually have a Choose Your Own Adventure book.
Oh, well,
I've
there you
got it
go.
on my shelf right here because I just haven't packed my books, but maybe not.
But yeah, either way, Choose Your Own Adventure books. I'm sure. I mean, if you've even heard of D&D, it's also very similar. I mean, there's a story in front of you. You're presented with a choice. You make a choice, and then you follow that tree.
Yeah. Well, my first original memory is actually a Mario Brothers Choose Your Own Adventure book,
Really?
and I actually have it somewhere. That's what I thought it was. I have a small book collection compared to Jandera.
Yeah.
I was like, I could probably find it right now.
Yeah.
But nah. But yeah, so Choose Your Own Adventure books is you like read, a page or two, and at the bottom it's like, do you want to fight the Goombas or do you want to run away from the Goombas? And if you fight them, you turn to page 27. If you run away, you turn to page 12.
Yeah.
And it keeps going and going until you either die or succeed or, whatever the case may be. They typically have multiple endings. And that's how House of Danger is. It's a team-based game where, you can play it by yourself or you can play with 12 people. You could have one person reading or you could take turns reading. And that's how we're doing ours. And it's going to be Buford Black trying to regulate the universe from all the, bad people and things. And he's getting opportunities to either, help or move forward or, join them in some cases, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a simple little board with Buford trying to get to the end of the board, just 30 spaces or something. And I'm almost ready to print it on just regular printer paper and do some beta testing with it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a time-based game, so I got to fine-tune it to make sure it is beatable, but not easily beatable. Trying to find that happy medium.
I don't want to give away too much, but I am going to give a tiny bit of a spoiler here. I'm going to put the cover image that you have.
Okay, the one
Even
with
though
the typo.
it has a typo. We're working on it. Again, a work in progress. But there's a quick little.
And to explain that while he's pulling it up,
I have it. It's up. There it is.
I did almost all the text was done with ChatGPT, and I've just added in details and flourish and expanded on the choices. And then I also did all the artwork through an art AI bot. And unfortunately, some of these art AI bots, the free ones anyway, if you try and do anything that's bad or harmful or something, not anything, but in this case, it didn't like the word enforcer.
Yeah.
And I also tried to do a picture of a jail cell, and it was just nope. I tried 30 different ways to word jail cell, dungeon, prison, dark room with bars. It was just nope. And so I really like this picture though, so I was fuck it. We're gonna go with that for now, and maybe I can have somebody crop in the right letters.
Yeah. There's a quick little
super cool picture.
Super cool picture, quick little tease. That's all you get. We'll give you some more announcements once we know more. Super excited about it. I gotta say, I've had a chance to kind of read through the rough draft of it. Not the entire thing, but you know, I've got to see some bits and pieces. Goat's kind of giving me the tour of it. It's pretty cool. I'm super stoked for it, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If you know any graphic artists or digital media designers or anything like that would be willing to volunteer to help us with this project, that'd be incredible. We need a lot of help with digital media and content creation and things like that nature. So if you know anybody that's willing to, you know, help out a veteran organization, send them our way, please and thank you. With that being said, it looks like you've got some stuff to talk about for our veteran topic this month. What do we have? What do we got? What's new?
So one, it's both new and not new. I personally didn't realize it was that old. I've heard about it probably since my first deployment. Always talking about, were you exposed to burn pits and stuff, and all they ever did was give you like a little trifle that's like, well, if you are, sucks to be you. Like,
Yeah.
here's some tips and tricks to help you not die or feel better. But at one point in time, I remember like signing like not a petition, but like a list of, got like a form basically explaining where I was, what happened, whatnot. And they basically had a big old case to like prove that, you know, this toxic exposure from burn pits, Agent Orange radiation is,
Right.
you know, a big problem.
Right.
But it was always the concern of like, well, in certain instances, it's kind of hard to prove whether what you have was caused by that or the fact that you're a pack-a-day smoker. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like, how are they going to prove what caused the damage? And it looks like with the PACT Act in March 2024, they made it to be more of presumptive conditions, meaning that in most cases, as long as you were in an area, you can prove you were in an area that was, you know, frequently exposed to burn pits or Agent Orange radiation, and you have the, you know, common symptoms or conditions that they know to come from that, then you don't have to prove it was caused by that exposure.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I'm sure everybody has seen the commercials on their TV, but if you were exposed to AFFF, I know a lot of aviation people, and just about anybody in the Navy in general, has been exposed to AFFF at some point in time. If you were diagnosed with any sort of cancer or anything like that, you know, you can definitely get relief for that. There are a lot of people out there, you know, cracking down on that. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's the same thing with this one. It just got, you know, approved in March 2024, so it's been a year. But if you know, if you're trying to up your disability or get disability period, you know, it's something that you can go back and add to your disability or get disability for the first time.
Yeah.
If you have any of those symptoms. And
Yeah.
we have 2 links that I'll put in chat here that'll give you more information on it, to include, you know, where to go to, you know, start that process.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, that link apparently
No,
won't go.
bro.
If you need help with things like that, that's where the DAV comes in
Yeah.
handy.
Mm-hmm.
They will actually help you put all your stuff together or re-put it together, you know, whichever you need to do. Really? Neither of these are short enough? You gotta be kidding me. Let's see if I can get a shorter link. There we go. Come on. There we go. That one's good. Now, can I get this one? And that one. There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
for a personal success story of the DAV, when I when I got out of the Navy, I took the I don't even remember what it was called now. TAPS, the transition assistance program that they put you through before getting out. I took that pretty seriously, and one of the resources they told us about was DAV. And one of the first things I did when I got out is I went into a DAV office that was right near the base, right before I left to go back home. And I started the process, and they helped me do all of my medical benefits, my disability benefits. I literally just gave them my medical record, and they took care of everything. I flew back home, you know, got settled in, and next thing I knew, I'm getting letters in the mail like, hey, you have an appointment here, 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 and here. And you know, I just went to those appointments, and it was just to verify my claim, and then, you know, everything they literally did everything for me. So I can't recommend the DAV enough. They do everything. They can help you with anything. And another really powerful resource, if you can't for some reason get in touch with the DAV, you need to go onto the VA's website and look up your VSO, your Veteran Service Organizer. Okay, your VSO will also be able to help you with anything. So make sure you do that. There should be a directory. You just find your county, you find your city, your state, and it will direct you to whoever your VSO is for your county.
How about that? After you file a claim and you get a rating, or you get a denied a rating, if you really feel like you need it and you deserve it, and you know, maybe they just put in shitty paperwork for you or whatever. There's also a lot of lawyers out there that can get involved that will do it 100%, mostly free of charge. They'll only charge you if they succeed, and then they'll just take a portion of your back pay. So you'll never technically pay a dime. It'll just come out of your back pay that you get when they do succeed for you. And if they lose, you don't pay anything. So, you know, if you feel like it's just not getting anywhere, or you got denied and you feel like, no, I'm missing a leg, I need something, then, you know, get a lawyer involved. Like, that's what they're there for. They know every ins and outs to get you everything you could possibly want. And that's, you know, they want you to succeed because that's how they're going to get paid. Otherwise, they don't get anything.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's a win-win for everybody. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to the gaming and pop culture updates of last month. It's been a big month. As I'm sure most of you gamers know, the Xbox Showcase 2025 recently happened. I think like last week, actually, that recent. And a lot of really big announcements, a lot of things I'm really excited to talk about. It came out of that. But before we touch on any of that, I want to touch on something that's just really been plaguing the gaming industry on the whole recently. And yet another gaming studio has been shut down. EA canned the Black Panther game that they were planning and developing, which really sucks because Black Panther game I could imagine being really cool. And then they closed the studio responsible for making it, Cliffhanger Games. I guess if we had to look at a bright side of this studio closure, is Cliffhanger Games was created for the sole purpose of making the Black Panther game. So without the game, they didn't have any work anyway. So I guess that's one bright side. You know, they didn't can just like a fully fledged, fully staffed, you know, established, well-known, you know, game studio like it's been happening a lot recently. So yeah, real sad about that. We won't be seeing a Black Panther game. Yeah, so I'm sorry to hear that. Next up, a recent new release, Elden Ring Night Reign, released as a separate entity from Elden Ring, a whole new game. I said I'd investigate it a little bit to figure out kind of what it's about, because before release nobody really kind of knew what the game was, you know. So I've done some research, I've kind of dug into what it is, and unfortunately at release it wasn't received very well. It seemed like the community didn't like it all that much. I heard reports that it was really hard, really difficult. But people said that about the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC as well. But then also they just weren't sure of the game's identity. I think that was the biggest thing, right? They didn't really know what to do. So I'm here to solve the answers, to provide the answers. So Elden Ring Night Reign is an Elden Ring game based in the Elden Ring world, but it is a roguelike Dark Souls game. So what will happen is you will choose from, let's say, I think it's 8 different pre-made characters. And then you will select, and then you'll go through multiple days in the game fighting various bosses, and then there will be a final boss at the end. And then you can, obviously gather rewards, I guess, and upgrade these pre-made characters to make the runs easier. I'm not exactly sure on all of that on a progression system, but it's a roguelike system, which is pretty interesting for a Dark Souls game. It seems to be, since release and since everybody's kind of figured it out, and like most Dark Souls games, people have accepted that it's difficult and they're just going to have to get good. It seems to be making a comeback. People seem to be receiving it a little bit better. It seems to be gaining some more traction back. So that's good to see. Elden Ring Night Ring. Check it out if you're a Dark Souls fan. Now on to some of the big Xbox announcements. One of my personal favorites of the Xbox announcements that came out was the ROG Xbox Ally. Now,
I saw the commercial for I guess the announcement video for that on TikTok today. I was like, that's a badass intro.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? The ROG Ally has been out for a while, okay? It's basically a handheld computer. You can run Steam, you can run Windows, it runs off Windows, okay? Really cool technology, but not cool enough to really make me want to buy one. With this, however, I do want one now. And I may end up having to invest in one because there's a couple of really, really great reasons for it. Number one, it's Xbox's first handheld, quote unquote. Well, we'll put an asterisk next to that, but it's Xbox's first handheld. And number two, which I think is the biggest improvement for me, is the actual format of the controller itself, right? The device itself. The original ROG Ally is just kind of like a Nintendo Switch. It's kind of just like a big rectangle. But this Xbox ROG that they released has these kind of beefy controller grips on it. Which for people like me with big hands, and I'm sure Goat would also appreciate, having those bigger like controller style grips on a handheld is super awesome and makes it a lot easier to hold, things like that. Third is not only can you access your full Xbox library on this thing, but you can also access Steam and Windows. So you can play your full Steam library as if you were on a Windows computer. This thing is incredible. It is powered by Ryzen AI chipset. It's a beast. I actually got a chance to play with the original ROG Ally while Scrivdoc was at the house a few weeks ago, and it's really powerful, man. It plays Ghosts of Tsushima really well, which is a next gen game. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really, really cool. But yeah, as you can see right there, it's got the the controller grips, really big screen on it. But yeah,
Have they announced any kind of price points yet?
so I don't actually know. It runs on a Windows 11 Home. So there's two versions of it. There's going to be the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X. The X is going to have the Ryzen AI Z2 processor, whereas the regular Ally is just going to have the regular Ryzen Z2 processor. The X is going to have 24 gigs of memory versus 16 gigs. The X is going to have a terabyte of M.2 versus 512 gigs of M.2. Price points, it does not look like there's a price point yet. I have not signed up for the.
My scary part, if it's going to cost as much as a computer.
It's probably, if I had to guess, if I had to put a price point on it, I'm gonna take a wild guess, and I'm gonna guess in the range of $600 to $700. That's gonna be my guess.
Yeah, I was going to compare it to like the Steam Deck because it's essentially the same thing, same kind of power anyway.
Yeah. The Steam Deck is also a really, really great handheld if you only want to play Steam games. What I like about the ROG Ally is it's a computer in your hand.
Yeah, if you get the best Steam Deck, it's $650.
Yeah, so I'm expecting it to be anywhere from $600 to $700, maybe even touching $800. Which is a little sad to hear, but I mean, honestly, it's kind of worth. I mean, because for these days, you're getting for a computer and a console, you're going to spend about $1,500 to $2,000 if you wanted to build a decent computer and buy a console. So to get both in a handheld version for $800, if you really, really put it into perspective, is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think it's really just about what kind of gamer are you?
Right,
You're
yeah,
a
if you're
traveling
right,
person or
exactly.
something, then
Yeah,
that'll be more handy
Mhm.
than a laptop.
Right, of course. Yeah. And so there's some people that are going to find value of it, some people that won't. So it's out there. I'm super stoked about it. I'm hats off to Republic of Gamers and Xbox for making this partnership happen. It's personally close to me because I love ROG in general. They're one of my favorite, brands. So yeah, big on them. That's really exciting. Goat, I think you might want to talk about this next one I have on the list because you were pretty excited about it. I know you like the series a lot.
Yes and no. I'm excited depending on what it's going to actually be, because I've been let down by these so-called remasters before.
Well, I will say in the current remaster space, things are looking great. I mean, all the remasters that have come out recently have been really good, especially Oblivion. Like I can't say anything more.
Well, yeah, but Oblivion's a little different. But
Yeah.
But I was just thinking back to like Knights of the Old Republic. They so-called released the remastered, HD version of the game, and like I bought it, opened it, and I swear it doesn't look anything different.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why did I even buy this? Like I could have just played the old one. And then from what little content I saw of what's the other first-person shooter? Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, yeah.
Where they like put it all in one game, fully remastered.
I thought those remasters were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it did look a little better, and I did like the fact that it was, at least they offered more. So it was, the slight remaster might not have been a good, total selling point, but the fact that they added like additional content that wasn't ever released before, and it was like every game in one. Like, that made it worthwhile. From what I'm reading here, this is just like the first Gears of War remastered.
Well, yeah, it's so I'm looking at the specs here. It's re-engineered to look and feel new. So it's going to release with 4K resolution, 60 FPS in campaign, and 120 in multiplayer, which it was capped at 30 before, which is really cool. HDR, Dolby Vision, 3.1, 3D audio, variable refresh rate, which is new. 4K assets, remastered textures, new post-processing, all kinds of really zero loading screens during campaign. That's gonna be fucking cool.
Yeah, but again, $40 for just the remake of the first version of the game.
Yeah,
whereas Mass Effect gave you the entire collection plus additional content and remastered it.
Yeah, agree. And I know you hate this, but for Game Pass holders, it's releasing for free. Day one.
I just say they call it for free. It's just included with your Game Pass, not free.
Okay, it releases day one included with Game Pass, so that's something to keep an eye out. And on PC, so there you go.
One day, man, one day they're gonna add Warcraft to the battle or Game Pass, and I'm gonna buy it.
Right, because then you can get your Warcraft subscription and Game Pass all in one place.
I would play the shit out of Game Pass if they put the Warcraft subscription on there.
Well, here you go, Blizzard. If you're listening, there's your cue. Microsoft.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I love dabbling in games, but I don't like risking the money.
Yeah.
Like even me with Gears of War. Yeah, I'm a Gears of War fan, but I'm not going to pay $40 for the one version of the game again.
Yeah. I get it. But for people like me who always have Game Pass, it's great to get the brand new releases on day one.
Definitely play it if I have Game Pass.
Speaking of brand new releases, we got another one announced, and this one's really, really interesting. I feel like I had to highlight this one because this is a different step for this particular studio. For those of you who are in probably my age group and older, know about Game Freak. Game Freak are the makers of Pokemon. They made Pokemon, all the Pokemon games, at least the ones that we loved. They are releasing a game on Xbox, which has never been done before. And it is called Beast of Reincarnation. It looks really cool. It looks like they're pulling some inspiration from like Monster Hunter, which is pretty cool. But yeah,
were you saying it's the first like Pokemon type game or first game on Xbox? It was definitely not the first game on Xbox.
It's the first game Game Freak has put on Xbox.
No, I'm looking at a list of all their games.
Oh, really?
They got Little Town Hero on Xbox.
Did that release on Xbox? Or was it ported to Xbox later?
I don't know if it's playable on Xbox.
Yeah, there are a lot of
I don't know about
games that may be
release.
playable, but this game is releasing on Xbox.
I mean, there's still only like two. There's
Yeah.
Little Town Hero
Okay,
and
well,
Timbo
either way.
the Badass Elephant.
Okay, well,
which
either way,
sounds very interesting.
the first AAA title from Game Freak to come to Xbox.
Wait, you mean to tell me Timbo the Badass Elephant is not AAA?
Yes, I am. But as you can see, I've got
believe
the little preview video going up here. Again, it's really Monster Hunter inspired as far as graphically, but it looks good. You know, it's not something you would expect from the devs of Pokemon. So I'm excited to check it out. Hopefully, it'll be on Game Pass for free. And actually, no, not hopefully. It will be. I know it will be because it's coming to Xbox, and the Xbox releases included on Game Pass. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Beast of Reincarnation by Game Freak. So little stroll down memory lane there with that.
Yeah, no, we might need to talk about Timbo the Badass Elephant next month.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list. Next
Get some
up,
screenshots.
with some of the big announcements. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 got announced. So it's a remaster to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. The 1 and 2 remaster was received really well. It did really well. The 3 and 4 demo is actually out now. If you're a Game Pass holder, it's included, so you can download it and play it. I have it downloaded. I haven't jumped in yet, so maybe next month, once I've had a chance to play it and fiddle around a little bit, we'll have something to talk about with that. I do know that it has the Doom guy in it, which is pretty cool. You know, Tony Hawk and Pro Skater games always have the cool, like, interesting, unlockable characters, and Doom guy is apparently the one in this new one, so that's cool. To honor the release of Doom: The Dark Ages.
Interesting. That been actually released a new one since 2015. It's
Yeah.
just been remakes.
Yep.
I was just thinking that, like, I remember playing like the first couple Tony Hawks.
Yeah.
1999
Yep.
was the first Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy that dude's older than me.
And he's still skating too, which is even
which is
crazier.
crazy.
And then finally on my list to talk about is something that I'm not super interested in myself, but I know it was real popular. The TV show on Amazon called Invincible. It was a superhero show, kind of an anti-hero superhero show, animated. I watched a few episodes of it, like I think 5 or 6 episodes of it. It was pretty cool. I mean, it's a bit much for me. I didn't really get all that into it, but they have released a 2D fighting game. So if you're into that universe and like that Invincible world, they've got a game out now. So that's pretty cool. I know a lot of people just love the 2D fighting game space. You know, there's you know, a lot of staples in that arena. You've got, you know, Smash Bros. You've got Tekken, Soul Calibur, and to see something new jumping out, Mortal Kombat. But to see something new jumping out here and trying to make a name for themselves, it's pretty cool. So again, if I can play it for free somewhere, then I might check it out. But otherwise, I don't know if you'll see me playing it. But there it is. Looks good. And again, the universe is pretty cool. So if you're into that, definitely check it out.
Speaking of that, Smash for Super Smash Brothers was released the same year as the first Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
1999.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add one more thing. We've got 5 minutes. I want to talk about the Switch 2 for a second.
Oh, God.
Yeah, buddy. It's not good, and I called it. First off, the release, the big game that it released with, which was Mario Kart World. Super hype. Everybody was super excited for it. They made all these really, really great promises about it, and they delivered on the promises they made, but it kind of fell flat. From the gameplay that I've seen, the biggest selling point of this new Mario Kart game was the fact that it's supposed to be live service and open world, which is pretty cool. So you can, build your kart and select your character and drive around in an open world. which in reality sounds really cool for a Mario Kart game, but when they implemented into the game, apparently it kind of fell flat. There wasn't really all that much to do. There wasn't really all that much to look at. And so that was
it literally meant you can drive around.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of people were really disappointed in that. I still think because they said it's a live service, there's still hope for it. I believe that they can redeem it and give it maybe a year, and I think it'll definitely be something to worth checking out. But as it sits right now, the Switch 2 not doing too great, especially with the price point. A lot of hype around it, like the original Switch. A lot of people bought it, but I think it's going to come up with some big problems in the future. And I think I'm glad that I wasn't one of the people that stood in line to buy one, especially with the announcement of the ROG Ally. Like that's a really heavy hitting counter argument right there.
Probably a big price difference though, because typically the Switches aren't that expensive.
Yeah, it probably will be a big price difference, but that's a power move right there by Xbox to go ahead and drop that announcement at the same time as the Switch 2. Because for my money, I'm gonna put it on the Ally. If you wanted my opinion.
I mean, if you had to compare the two, it's $450 for a Switch that you only play freaking Nintendo games on.
Right now, the other thing that people were like in awe about, it's like, oh, they're adding a GameCube emulator to the Nintendo Switch 2. And then here me and you PC gamers are like, that's cute. Like I can play GameCube games whenever I want on my computer. So why do I need a Switch 2? And I guarantee you I can play just about any Nintendo game on my computer legally.
Or Sega.
Yeah, or Sega. And that's because I legally own the copies in person. Yeah. I don't pirate any of my games. Let's make that very clear. But anyway, with that being said, that is 9 o'clock. That's going to do it for our. Oh, what? You got something else?
2 random bits to add in it.
Oh shit! Okay, what you got for us?
Tony Hawk is 57 years old. He was only born 5 years after my mom, which is crazy to think that he was as old as my mom skateboarding.
Yeah.
And he's a net worth of $140 million.
Guys, yeah. I mean, he has a whole business. He's got a whole like skateboarding business. Like, she's got a shoe brand, like
games. He's got TV show things that he's been in. Like,
well, it's funny if you ask him, like you can look up interviews with Tony about his involvement in the games, and he was super involved in the games, but he didn't make very much money from them until the second one. He said the second one they really made a lot of money off of the second one. And then with these remasters, they made a shit ton of money again. Like the first, like the remaster 1 and 2 did phenomenally well. It literally was just a better version of the old games that we all know and loved. Like they didn't really change anything about it. They just made it look better, play better, and feel better. Like it was just a better version of the game. And so we're all expecting,
especially a game that came out in 1999.
Yeah. And we're all expecting the same thing from 3 and 4. You know, I don't expect it to be too much different from the remaster of 1 and 2. You know, as far as like 1 and 2 remaster versus 3 and 4 remaster, you're not going to see very many differences there. But I think from 3 and 4 to 3 and 4 remaster, it's going to be incredible. So, yeah. You got anything else for us tonight before we close up shop?
Nope. Just hopefully, next month I'll actually show you a better picture of the crafting room, and hopefully have some more prints. It'll be tight as to what I'm going to have as far as new stuff, because our next stream is actually right around the corner since we're a week late.
Yep. And
then the weird time of next month, so our next stream is going to be on the 1st of July. So I got 3 weeks to get that thing in order and start printing and show some stuff off.
With that being said, our next stream will be a 4th of July special, and we may have a special guest. No guarantees, but we might. Stay tuned for more updates. Make sure you are joining our Discord so that you have all of the updates, because that's where we post most frequently. Make sure you check out our Facebook. Make sure you check out our YouTube. If you missed the first part of this stream, you could check it down below on our Twitch and our VODs, or you can go over to our YouTube. You can also check our website, and on our website, we also post the video. It is live on there now. You can go and see it right now. So make sure you check that out. Follow us on X, follow us on Facebook, join our Discord, check out our website, Follow our TikTok. We haven't posted anything recently, but we should be getting back to that here shortly and pretty soon. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope y'all all stay safe. Remember, the suicide hotline is there. If you need it, call anyone. Call your friends. There are people that love you. For me personally, there's a lot of turmoil going on politically in the state of Texas right now. So, you know, if you're a Texas veteran, you need somebody to talk to. We're being attacked in Texas right now, and it's really, really, really sad to see. So yeah, reach out. You're not alone, and I hope everyone has a wonderful month, and we will see you July 1st.
Everyone, good month. There's no holidays.
It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you.